Ronnie, I know you're going to be talking to the owner of this Sooty and Sweet memorabilia a little bit later on, but I just wanted to grab you for a minute because I know this packs a particular emotional punch for you, all of this, doesn't it?
It really does. When this was brought to my table and she opened the box, I sort of deep intake of breath, and then she said that it was the actual Sooty puppets because her father was a set maker for Harry Corbett, and that these were his puppets. It just took me back to when I was 5 years old, and Harry Corbett came to visit me in a children's home that I was in.
Because you had a very tough childhood, I know, Ronnie. Conversations we've had.
It wasn't tough. It was,
I think it was.
It was an adventure. And he, to my supreme joy, sat next to me and let me put these puppets on my hand and play with them. And honestly, it was the biggest moment of my childhood. I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. And I do often think about it and how charmed I was to be privileged enough to handle the things that most inspired me and made my world go round. It was Sooty and Sweet when I was 4 and 5 years old. And then when she opened that box and showed me these, it really...
Sucker punch.
It did.
And for you to remember it so clearly and for it to have made such an impact, I mean, you were just 5. Shows how much it meant to you.
It did. It really did. It did. I just...
Sorry.
No, it did, because that was all I had. I mean, that was, you know, I didn't have my own toys in the home. We shared toys. This was the highlight of my life, and he was such a kind man.
Takes you right back.
It really does, yeah.
Well, enjoy talking to her about it.
I will.
And reliving those memories.
Mm. When you came to my table and opened up that box with these puppets in, I could see they were Sooty and Sweet and Sue, and you told me that they were Harry Corbett's.
Yes.
My childhood came flooding back to me. So what's your connection with these and this photograph with Harry Corbett?
Well, the photograph was taken probably about 1955. That's me, when Harry Corbett, who'd worked with my father for many years at an engineering firm in Guiseley, asked him if he would make his props for the Sooty show that he was doing on the BBC. So my father had to decide to give up a job that he'd had for 28.5 years and go in with Harry, which he did, and he made his props for over 20 years.
Well, in 1955, I was in a children's home in Southport, a national children's home, and Harry Corbett came to visit the children's home.
And do you know why he did? Because my father was in a children's home, in a national children's home.
Really?
And then Harry met him when they were working.
Got all goosebumps.
And so he did an awful lot for the national children's homes. He did lots of shows for them. And
when he came to the national children's home, though,
yeah,
I had the privilege of him sitting next to me.
Really?
Of all the children in the home, he sat next to me and let me play with his puppets.
Sooty's actually 1 year older than me. He's 70 next year.
They mean more to me than I can say.
Yes.
I would say that is my fondest memory of my childhood.
How lovely.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think about it a lot. But, you know, it was our fantasy world.
Yes.
When we were that
Yes.
age. I'd like to try that puppet on, if you don't mind, just for old time's sake.
Yeah.
May I?
You may.
Thank you.
And he'll come alive.
Weird. This is so weird. I may have had that puppet on my finger.
All those years ago?
All those years ago, on my hand.
Can you wave? Yes.
Because I've done it before.
Yes. You're an expert, like Sweet.
Well, not quite. But that's amazing. And I reckon that could have been the one, because that looks that sort of age. Because he had many, and he did give them away.
Yes.
I know that.
Yeah.
They're worth about £200 to £250 each.
Are they?
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 12.50.
And another one at home.
1,500.
Goodness me.
What it means to me is immeasurable.
Well, I'm really pleased. That's lovely.
It really has made me feel emotional.
Yeah.